Rumours have been going around the paddock that the Ferrari SF-25 is currently not a great upgrade over the problematic Mercedes piloted by Lewis Hamilton last season. And not only that, as insiders have also warned Hamilton about his upcoming race debut with Ferrari. So, are these rumours legitimate, and should he be worried? Former F1 technical director Gary Anderson claims the 2025 Ferrari was not driver-friendly during the last pre-season test in Bahrain. Anderson stated that the 2025 Ferrari lacked the benign attributes Hamilton looks for in a car. He said, "From 2022 to 2024, he struggled to varying degrees with an unpredictable Mercedes, and last year was the low point. Although he won 2 races, it was comfortably, or should that be uncomfortably, the worst season of his career. It is still early days, but on first impressions, it does not look as though the new Ferrari is a great upgrade on last year's Mercedes W15. From the early running, the SF-25 does not appear to be as driver-friendly as I would expect. Hamilton likes a benign car from which he can extract the most from his talent and minimize lap time. It did not look that benign in testing. When Hamilton drove the car, it was hitting the ground quite hard and bouncing, and this probably caused him to have a few minor off-track moments. There will always be uncertainty at this early stage of the season, yet when you see Hamilton making mistakes or running wide, you can say for certain that the car is not giving him the feedback he wants. In short, I am not sure if he has a package, yet, better suited to him than the problematic car he drove in 2024. It is early days though, and that may well come with some setup experiments, and when teammate Charles Leclerc, who knows more how the Ferrari should feel, gets more into it. It brings up the question, is Ferrari prepared for a title fight? Have they done enough to challenge McLaren? And, maybe more important, will the new teammates get along? According to former Formula One CEO Bernie Ecclestone, it won't be easy, as he has cautioned 7-time champion Lewis Hamilton that Ferrari will still be hoping Charles Leclerc gets the job done in 2025. In a recent interview, Ecclestone discussed the upcoming 2025 Constructors' Championship, saying, "You'd have to obviously think McLaren and I'd like to see Ferrari win." He said that he believes Leclerc has a better chance of winning than his new colleague, Hamilton. He's been there all the way through, so they are hardly going to dump him for Lewis. I'm not saying Lewis isn't possible, just that they will not stop looking after and hoping Leclerc's going to get the job done. Ferrari has consistently projected Leclerc as the team's future, and his performance in 2024 only reinforced this when he won his first home race in Monaco, as well as in front of the fanatical Tifosi at Monza. It will be interesting to see how the team dynamics evolve in 2025. Team principal Fred Vasseur has a long history with both drivers, having been Leclerc's team chief at Sauber during his rookie F1 season in 2018, and winning Lewis Hamilton's GP2 championship with RT Grand Prix in 2006. Vasseur previously told what he believes Hamilton will offer to the Italian team. "I am convinced that Lewis will come with his own experience, with a background of 18 years in F1, with a couple of titles and it will be a real push to keep this mindset, to try to do a bit better everywhere. I perfectly remember with Lewis in 2005 to 6 that he was already like this, pushing on the small details," he added, referring to his time leading the ASM RT outfit in junior single-seaters. Racing for the French team, Hamilton dominated the 2005 F3 Euro Series and the 2006 GP2 Series, F2's predecessor. At the end of the day, if you have a look, I think that on average the delta between McLaren and us in qualifying was a couple of hundredths, and we are really at this stage, also with Red Bull and Mercedes, that we are speaking about details. We really need to have this kind of mindset to chase the last 1,000th in every single area, and I think Lewis will be a good asset for this also. Even though Vasseur is stating this and trying to keep the pace, the data from pre-season testing told us a different story. This came to light as Red Bull advisor Helmut Marko claimed Charles Leclerc was much faster than Ferrari teammate Lewis Hamilton during F1 2025 pre-season testing in Bahrain. He also believes Hamilton's drive will decrease if he sees no chance of winning this season. It's the stuff of fairy tales. Formula One's most successful driver ever joins the sport's most successful and legendary team with one goal in mind: to break an 18-year drought and make history in the process. Adding to the captivating plot, if Hamilton achieves his goal of an 8th championship, he will shatter the record set by Ferrari superstar Michael Schumacher. However, after pre-season testing, it appears that the fairy tale is not going as planned. Despite claims from Italy that Ferrari had found 0.4 of a second with the SF-25, it fell short of McLaren's standard. Since pre-season testing ended, it has been stated that Ferrari's technical director Leclerc and his team are looking for the right setup adjustments to find the right balance and unlock the true pace of the SF-25 car, while former F1 technical director Gary Anderson stated that the new Ferrari does not look like a great upgrade on last year's Mercedes W15. According to Marco, Hamilton was the slower of the two Ferrari drivers during testing, despite having the Scuderia's quickest time over the 3 days. In Bahrain, Leclerc was the much faster one, the Red Bull Motorsport advisor said. But that's normal. He knows the team, he knows the car. Hamilton drove a lot of laps, gradually improved, but was not quite at Leclerc's level. But don't underestimate the 7-time world champion, as Marco believes he can improve every time he gets in the vehicle. Only the first race is coming, he continued. And we know that a Hamilton, if the whole environment fits, can improve incredibly. One is a multiple world champion, the other is chasing his first title, but is one of the best qualifiers. And because the field is relatively close together, 3 or 4/10 of a second difference in qualifying can make up 3 to 5 grid positions. And you know how difficult overtaking is these days. So from this point of view, it is crucial for Hamilton to be able to evaluate the first qualifying sessions on equal footing with Leclerc, but that's certainly not easy. However, if there is no fit, Hamilton may lose desire, no matter how extraordinary his ability to progress is. He went to Ferrari of his own volition, Marco added. He was looking for this new challenge, and I think he will do everything he can to ensure that his expectations are met. As I said, these are early days, and again, Hamilton can both supernaturally improve, but it could also be that if the factors don't fit together, he sees no chance of winning, that he then loses some of his motivation. Hamilton and Ferrari will face their first serious test next weekend, when the F1 circus travels to Australia for the first round of the F1 2025 World Championship. The arrival of Lewis Hamilton at Ferrari might for Charles Leclerc, who is entering his 7th year of Formula One competition with the prancing horse, be viewed as either a danger to his position or an excellent opportunity to develop. The driver's interpretation of it would be heavily influenced by the team's atmosphere, and the Scuderia's goal is to approach the World Championship from 2 perspectives. But, according to team principal Fred Vasseur, Lewis Hamilton's joining will only benefit his teammates. From the first day I started talking to Lewis, I was convinced that it would also be good for Charles by taking some of the pressure off him, Vasseur said. And then, after 4 years alongside Carlos, the best way to learn was to have a new teammate, also to see new working methods. Vasseur admitted that Leclerc has faced severe competition in the form of Carlos Sainz, but that internal competition is a process of emulation and that performance comes from comparison. Further, the team boss has made it clear that the goal is not to pit the two drivers against one another, but to see how both can perform and evolve. I hope they win a lot of races, Vasseur said. Then in the second part of the championship, we will understand how we are positioned for the World Championship. So, what do you think? Will they be able to live up to the expectations, or will there be troubles along the way? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below.